Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance to Live channel. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. Thank you. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be sharing an article that I wrote a few days ago. I create video presentations on my articles to share the information with individuals to learn more effectively through watching and listening. To read the article, I'll put my glass back on and bring up the article. As I do, I want to thank you for making the decision to stop by to watch this video presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you. So please leave a comment or a question, and remember, all questions are good questions. Here's the article: Finding Freedom from Self-Victimization. Hello and welcome back to Second Chance to Live, my friend. I'm happy to have you around my table. In today's article, I would like to share an awareness that I had that may be helpful to you. Several days ago, during and after a phone conversation, I found myself agitated at the person. The morning after the phone call, I wrote them a letter and was preparing to mail that letter later in the day to tell them what I needed them to do to avert my fear and anxiety in the future. But as the day moved on, I had an uneasy feeling about mailing and sending the letter. In response to my uneasiness, I took out the letter out of the sealed and stamped envelope and reread what I had written to the individual. As I read the letter, I realized that I was reacting out of my own fear and anxiety. With my awareness, I realized that the fear and anxiety that I was experiencing was my responsibility and not the other person's responsibility, who I was set to make responsible and blame for my fear and anxiety in the letter that I had written. With my awareness, I realized that sending the letter would not solve my feeling fearful and anxious, but only shift the blame. I subsequently tore up the letter and threw it away. And here's a quote that I penned: "If nothing changes, it will remain the same." The above awareness reminded me that I need to take responsibility for my fear and anxiety, instead of shifting the blame to the other person who inadvertently triggered my fear and anxiety. Through owning responsibility for my fear and anxiety, I remembered that I could be empowered by examining both the trigger and my fear and anxiety related to the trigger. Through owning and examining the trigger, fear, and anxiety related to the topic of discussion that I had with the individual, I am able to stop being or feeling victimized by the trigger, fear, and anxiety. Through owning, examining, and making the decision to keep the focus on myself, I am able to defang the trigger and stop victimizing myself. Through owning, examining, and defanging the trigger by owning the responsibility for my fear and anxiety, I am able to arrest the power of self-victimization. Through owning responsibility for my triggers, fear, and anxiety, I am able to prevent the rupture of relationships. Through owning responsibility for my triggers, fear, and anxiety, I am able to find serenity in the midst of my fear and anxiety, despite my fear and anxiety. Through owning responsibility for my triggers, fear, and anxiety, my life takes on new meaning, apart from being a victim. Today's thought: in the event that you find yourself agitated by someone, take a step back. Examine why you are feeling agitated by those individuals or by the individual. By doing so, you may find that you are able to stop victimizing yourself. By doing so, you may be able to defang the power of self-victimization. By doing so, you may be able to prevent the rupture of relationships. By doing so, you may find serenity in the midst of your fear and anxiety, despite your fear and anxiety. And by doing so, you may find your life taking on new meaning apart from being a victim. This is the end of the article. Again, I want to thank you for your time. Before I go, let me encourage you with this, as I too need to remember. Please do not give up on yourself, a loving God, or your process, because more will be revealed with time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. So long now.